Hey guys, this is Locke. In this video, I'm going to talk about which Legendary Plus earrings you should choose from your Legendary Plus earrings selection ticket. This is the ticket that you're getting from your 100th day celebration carnival. You unlock it on your 50th star, which you're probably going to unlock either tomorrow or the day after. Or if you are a little bit slower on these events, maybe you'll unlock it at a few days after that. But still, everyone should be able to access this and pick this item up. So we have 9 different choices, and of these, most of these can actually be eliminated right off the bat because they are pretty terrible picks. And so I'm going to talk about those very briefly and talk about why you should not be getting them. So first off, the full moon earrings. These are probably the worst Legendary Plus set. They actually do get buffed later on, but I don't know when that's going to come into into the global version. So I would not pick this. There are better things to consider. This basically just increases your damage output, and it's not even a lot compared to something like this. So that's why it's considered the worst one. So do not get that. The next one you can eliminate is the Earrings of Transcendence. This increases whenever you do your basic attack, it increases your ultimate skill gauge. This is maybe a niche pick for Shay, but it's still a very minuscule effect in my opinion, and you need a very long fight to be able to make use of this. So it might be good for some raids like the 8-person raid or something if you're bringing Shay, but it's such a niche pick that it's really not worth it to consider it. So I would eliminate both of them right off the bat. Lagarthe is actually kind of a good item because especially later on as you get into PvP, more and more people start using this because you want to suppress the enemies doing ultimates. However, we are quite a bit away from that kind of meta, so in the meantime, you should actually use something that you can use. And again, this is only used for PvP. And I think for most players, you should actually focus on something for PvE. If there's an item that you can use in both PvE and PvP, that's probably the best pick. But this one I think is safe to ignore for now, unless you have all of your other PvP and PvE accessories already. Then it might be something you can pick up. But for most players, this is going to be one that we can skip. Next up is the Mirage earrings. Now, I actually kind of like this set, and I've been using Mirage accessories on my PvP units, but this is something that I would consider after I already have something like, raid sets and revive sets. So it might be something that's, kind of useful much later on down the line, but for your first accessory, this is not something that you want to pick. And also, we also already get a ring, a Mirage ring, either from the Chapter 6 or Chapter 9 very hard storyline. So you probably don't want to put 2 of these in the same unit. If you're going to put one, you're probably going to put one. So if there's some unit that you want to take advantage of, this specific effect, you'll probably be okay using the ring. You don't need to get the ring and the earring. So I think this is also one that safely we can get rid of for most players. Next up is something that's actually really useful, but we are also going to eliminate this because we are already getting it for free. We are going to be able to get the Earrings of the Transcended from the Chapter 3 Very Hard storyline. For newer players that have no idea what that is, I'm going to just take a moment to show you where you can get that. So when you're doing your your storylines, you're going to beat normal, you're going to beat hard, and then when you're finally beating the very hard storylines, at Chapter 3, 6, and 9, we actually end up picking a accessory. And these accessories are pretty good. So here's the Mirage one that I talked about earlier that we get from the Chapter 9. We get a Transcendence piece from Chapter 6, this one. And again, this is the one I talked about where every 2 basic attacks you increase your ultimate skill gauge by a little bit. It's not that useful. It's very, very niche. But this is the most useful of these 3, and it's given to you from the Chapter 3 Very Hard story. This is the Earrings of the Transcended that I just talked about. It's this item here. And it's actually really, really good, especially for your DPS. Like, it's great to put 2 pieces of this on Quizette. However, you already have earrings, so you can't put both earrings on the same person. You have to put 2 different earrings on 2 different people. So the value of this drastically diminishes because you're already given an earring of the Transcended for free. If this was something like a necklace or a ring, there is a pretty good case for it actually. But because it is an earring and you're already given it for free, we are going to eliminate this because this is not something that we should pick when we are given such a limited choice. So that leaves, there are 4 accessories that we can consider. Of these, I think this one is the least useful of these. It is still useful for some things. Like for example, in PvP, if you put this on Spike, uh, when he pops his passive and he's just getting hits from enemies and he's just standing there and tanking them because he's immortal, this is going to increase his ultimate skill gauge. So this is something that could be useful, on niche units like Chris Plus or Spike or other people that have immortality. You can also pair this with the rage accessory to increase the value as well. But this is something that comes after revive and rage. Like this is probably not something that you want to get as your first accessory. So if you already have your other accessories, kind of you have many sets of them or something, then this is something you can consider. But for most people, this is probably not the one that you can consider, especially if you are lacking in accessories. Now, of the three left, these three are the most useful: the earrings of immortality, earrings of rage, and the time acceleration earrings. And there is a good case for all three of them. The most useful, the one that most people will be picking most of the time, should be the earrings of immortality. If you're a new player and you don't have any of these, get this one. Just don't even think about it, because this one is going to change your gameplay drastically. Earrings, the revive effect doesn't just revive you when you're killed, it also completely resets all your skill cooldowns. Now, everyone is going to get a Karen on the 7th day for free, and she is able to revive your entire party, but no one else can revive her. So if you put this on her, even if she gets killed because she stands in AoE, she gets trapped, or you weren't fast enough to move out of AoE, you have a second chance to now complete this. You don't have to completely restart your run. And whenever you bring units for raids, you can slap this on whatever unit you're bringing. Cosette, your resistance characters, whoever it is, it gives them a second chance to get out of certain situations. There are some raids where your resistance tank is having a hard time tanking. Like for example, the Gigantus raid, where that pirate boss hits you really, really hard. So sometimes this saves your run because you have this on your tank. Even at like lower levels, it really helps a lot. So this is the one that most people should be picking. And it's great for both PvP and PvE. So because it's useful in both places, this is why the value of this is the best. Whereas the others are, they have limited uses in either PvP or PvE, whereas this one is always good on basically everyone. So I highly recommend this. This would, like, if I was starting now and I didn't have any of these accessories, this is the one I would pick, like, eyes closed, because the effect of this accessory is just that good. Now, Rage, this is kind of similar to Revive, but because we are 3 months into the game, the value of this has kind of gone down. Because basically in PvP, pretty much everyone is using this. And if you're not using this, they're either using Spike or Chris or some combination of this. But basically, you can assume that everyone you're playing in the arena will have something like this, unless you are so new that you just don't have any luck getting this accessory. But especially as you go into higher tiers, you will find more and more people using this effect. Now, what that means is, because the effect of this is so common, everyone will have some way of dispelling it. People are going to be bringing Claire, they're going to be bringing Juju, they're going to be bringing Ming, Valger, and so on and so on. And all of these units have the effect of dispelling a buff from the from the enemy. So if you're having this and you think that your arena rating is going to skyrocket, it's no longer going to do that, simply because everyone is expecting it. So since everyone is expecting you to pop this accessory, everyone is also going to bring a dispeller into PvP as well. So the value of this in PvP is not as good as it was before. And I heard in the future, in the Korean servers, like very few people have been using this anymore. They're using different other sets now, because the value of this, it doesn't provide as much value as it did in the past. Right now, I mean, everyone is still using it. I think the most common setup I see in Arena is 2 pieces of the Revive accessory and 1 piece of this, because it still does give you some availability. However, everyone prepares for it and they dispel it, but it's still kind of needed. Like I I would be very uncomfortable going. Like I already have 4 pieces of this, so I would be uncomfortable going into arena where someone either didn't have this effect, like Spike or Chris or something, or I would have to put this on them. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't really expect them to live. At least they have to. The enemies have to waste one dispel on it to get rid of it. So it's still kind of useful, but it's not as valuable as revive, especially not anymore. Now, time acceleration. This is one of the best PvE accessories in the game. This drastically reduces the cooldown of your skill as you're attacking, and the first person that can go on, the best person that can go on, is Karen, because in most cases, in most raids, you're only going to be able to bring one healer. A raid is a 4-man party. You're going to bring your suppression unit, you're going to bring your resistance hero, you're going to bring your DPS, and then you're going to bring Karen. And Karen now has the entire responsibility of healing for your team. You can't bring a second healer like Shay or Serena to supplement your healing, unless you're doing the 8-man raid or something. But in most cases, Karen has to do the entire job of healing. And so sometimes that it's just not enough, because she still has some kind of cooldown on all her skills. So bringing this accessory on her is going to drastically improve her healing capability, because she's able to get heals more often. When it comes to like very high level raids, like Gigantus is the hardest raid right now, and I have 2 of these accessories and a revive accessory on my Karen, and until I brought that Karen with 2 pieces of this, we could not do the run. Like I thought other people could take on the job of Karen, and they had, I think, 1 of these, or maybe, yeah, they probably had 1 of these, but not 2, and they still were not able to keep enough healing on the team that we can successfully do it. So this accessory is very, very useful and very important for PvE. So if you are a PvE player, you think that PvP is really not something that you want to do. There's a very strong case for this. I mean, revive is still very useful in PvE as well, and so they're really they're tied together in terms of importance. Maybe if you already have one of these, you can think of picking up the other. If you are a PvE player, because say you have some kind of revive accessory already. So if you're going to bring Karen, now you can bring that revive accessory and this time acceleration piece, right? So you can bring both, and your Karen now is probably going to be better than most of the other Karens out there, because if they don't have another time acceleration piece, then your Karen is probably much better already. So there's a case for it, especially if you already have one of these. There is a case to pick it up, and if you are a person that's going to be playing Karen a lot, like quite often, you might even consider picking this up over the revive accessory. There's a huge case for that. If you already have one time acceleration piece, either the necklace or the ring, you can still pick this up as well, because the effect of it almost it increases drastically, because before every 3 attacks you get cooldown decreased by 1 second, and then for 2 pieces it's every 2 attacks cooldown decreased by 1 second. Especially if you're pairing this with attack speed equipment, the effect of this obviously goes up. If you pair this with like Luki in an 8-man raid or something, and your Karen is popping this off, it also obviously increases the effect of it as well. And it's not only limited to Karen. There are other units that can make use of this as well. For example, Chris or Rachel, both of them are also able to use this as well, because they're able to get their debuffs off more often. Chris, with 1 piece of this, is able to keep 100% uptime on his defense decrease debuff. So that's obviously, a huge impact, right? So if you already have revive, this might be something you can consider, because this is a pretty good accessory. If you don't have either, I mean, personally, I would probably still pick the revive, because I do like PvP, so I would like to get something that's useful for both. Time acceleration is not useful for PvP at all, so this is more of a strictly PvE kind of accessory, but you have to make the decision for yourself. Like, are you a PvP and PvE player? Are you strictly PvP, strictly PvE? I mean, you should not be strictly PvP, because PvE is a huge part of this game, but you should make the decision yourself which of these is better for you, assuming you have none. My own personal preference is revive. This is what I would go for if I had none of them. And then what to do if you already have a few of these accessories? Like if you already have 4 revive accessories that you can put on your 4 main units, I would not pick a fifth one until I had 4 of something else. Like for example, if I had 4 of these and 3 of these, I would pick the fourth one. I would pick would be rage, so that I can give everybody 1 revive and 1 rage each. If I had 4 of these, then I would pick this, right? So I would try to like if there's a set that's very useful, I would try to uh, make sure I have 4 of those pieces to give to 4 people. And if I don't, then that's what I would pick. Something like this is I wish this was not an earring. If this was not an earring, this would be great. But because it's an earring, there's no point even talking about it. So I'm not gonna just don't pick this because you're already getting it for free. Um, if you already have a ring and a necklace, should you pick this up? I would say no, because most of the time you want to bring a revive. Like you still need to bring revive. Like I have 3 pieces of this. I have every single piece, like the earrings, necklace, and ring, and I've never brought Karen without a revive into a 4-person raid at tier 15, because she still does die, and if she dies, the entire raid is you have to start all over. So I don't ever just bring Karen with 3 pieces of this. So if you already have the ring and necklace, I think this is safe to skip, because it's better to pick up something like this or even this than pick up the earrings if you already have the first 2 pieces. Um, I think those are all the questions that I can think of, and all the different cases. Um, like your main priority should be immortality, um, and then for PvE players, this is a good priority as well, unless you already have the necklace and the ring. This is good for PvP players. There are some niche PvE cases where this is good as well. Like for example, if you're bringing raids, one of the best setup to bring right now for raids is like one of this, and one of this, and one of like something else. Sometimes it's this for some players, sometimes it's this. But bringing 1 revive and 1 rage is a typical PVE setup as well. Um, and so rage is still pretty good. It's the effect is also pretty long. It's 6 seconds as opposed to mirage, which is only 3 seconds. So it's also it's good, but it just diminishes in the future. And once you die, like if you pop this off, you might die before you get healed. Whereas with revive, if you die, you revive and all your skills are on cooldown. If you're playing somebody like Rachel, when you revive, since your skills are on cooldown, you can pop your shield right away, and you have quite a bit of leeway before you die again because you have your shield. And this already gives you a shield anyway, right? Like it gives you a 20% shield, no, 10% shield with one piece, and at 3 pieces it gives you 40% shield. So it's a pretty good accessory. And yeah, if you don't have revive, strong case to get revive. The only exception is to get this for some players that might make more sense. If you have revive, if you especially have if you have 1 or 2 revives, you might want to consider rage. If you have something like 4 revives, then get a piece that you don't have, like rage. If you have 4 rage, get something that you don't have again, like revive. If you have 4 revives and 4 rage, then I would again encourage you to get something that you don't have. Maybe this might be a good option, or this also might be a good option. What am I gonna do? I have a ton of these already, so I don't want to tell you, because I feel like a lot of people would just get salty, right? Like I just had incredible luck with this, and like 80%, 85% of this just came from field exploration for me. But just to, yeah, like I have all of these, and these are the ones that are not equipped. So I'm not going to talk about it because I have like way too many of these right now. So, yeah, so in case you're wondering, like I said, 80 to 85% of it came from field exploration. Where I get the other 15 to 20% is actually from arena, because I'm able to get the reward from here. What do we get? This one, which gives me 25 forgotten memories. So every month I can craft one, and then I also get quite a bit from the guild rewards as well. Because the last time I was playing, I was the rank 3 guide. Before that, I was like rank 4 to 10. So we've gotten the rewards twice. I've been able to craft like 2 or 3 of these now. So a pretty good stream of income for those forgotten memories. So that's why I'm not really too worried myself. But I know the majority of players are not in that position where you have to like worry and stress about which one you have to get, because the choices are so limited. If you get one now, you don't know when the next one you're going to get is. Whereas for me, I'm pretty confident that I'll probably be getting one or two every month because of just the arena income and the guild income. But anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys have a have a good day. And if you have other questions or comments, or if there's something I missed, or if there's a point about these accessories that I completely forgot to mention, please leave it in the comments so other people can read it and get better informed. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you guys next time. Take care now.